Hello and welcome to the Flourishing Introvert Talks with me, Jo Rawbone. This is the podcast that celebrates the natural gifts of introverts so that we can flourish in all situations. Episode 287. Your future is not your past. This week I had a fabulous memory pop up on the Book of Faces, so it is good for some things after all. Anyway, it got me thinking about just how often we allow our past to determine our future, especially we overthinking introverts. But what if the past isn't meant to be the navigator or in the driver's seat at all? So this episode will challenge a few who seem intent on repeating patterns, but I won't leave you there, as importantly, I'll give you a few options and a couple of mindset shifts. Deal? Okay. I'm going to start by sharing the words on the post and we'll unpack them later. I might not be someone's first choice, but I am a great choice. I may not be rich, but I am valuable. I don't pretend to be someone I'm not because I'm good at being me. I might not be proud of some of the things I've done in the past, but I'm proud of who I am today. Such strong affirmations, don't you think? And if they resonate so strongly, what might happen if we actually lived by them? Now, I'm hot on attributing wherever possible, so when I was searching for the author, which I failed to find, by the way, I saw a couple of extra lines dating back more than 11 years. They read, "I may not be perfect because I don't need to be. Take me as I am or watch me walk away." The very last line created a conundrum for me, which I'll get to during the unpacking of it all. The whole verse could very well be an invitation to set boundaries, build liberating beliefs, and establish real self-worth, which frankly are the foundation stones for flourishing. And that's how I'm choosing to use them. As we start the unpacking process, I want you to notice where your focus is, past, present, or future. Let's begin. I may not be someone's first choice. Who here has not faced rejection at some point? Maybe it was a lover, a spouse, an employer, a friend. The list is endless. But it's what we do next that matters. If I lock myself away so I don't get hurt or rejected again, I'm not really living life, am I? If I allow rejection to weaken my trust in myself and others, I'm on a path to a lonely existence. And yes, I know we're introverts, but we still need human connection, just the right kind. I'm divorced from my first husband, thanks to a premature marriage. I was rejected by a friend of over 40 years, and I failed to win competitive tenders for my business. Each felt crushing in the moment, but each also proved I can rebuild, stronger, wiser and more discerning. And I'm still here with my head held high. I'm married again, and this time for 31 years, with many real friends and some acquaintances. And I'm proud that the majority of my business comes through referral and recommendations. So I know I'm a great choice, even though I'm not the first choice for many. I choose not to allow the initial wounds of rejection to remain unhealed. They don't define me because my past is not my future. The next line is about material wealth, and in many circles I am far from rich. But in even more, I am wealthy beyond measure because I know my value. Ironically, it's that very sentiment that enables me to overcome the rejection I sometimes face. If others cannot see my value, that's their problem, not mine. I could even say their loss, not mine. But for many introverts, we've spent so long being told we're not this enough or not that enough that we start to lose our own sense of value. My friends, it's time to re-evaluate yourself, and this time it's you who need to do the valuing, not someone else. Of course, it's always nice to hear how someone values us, but let's not look for or rely on that as external validation, because when we do, it may morph into rejection again. Now, full disclosure, this feels a bit like a lifetime of work for me, as I often get caught up in comparisonitis and allow myself to be devalued in the process. And yes, notice I'm recognizing that I'm allowing it. Sounds nuts, doesn't it? But I have no one to blame but me. Fortunately, I have a few people around me, together with my team, who call me out when I slip into comparisonitis. We all need someone who can call us out and offer a hand to haul us out. Another reason why we need an intentional network. Who do you have who will do that for you, and who do you do that for? After all, intentional networks are reciprocal. Now, on to the next line. I don't pretend to be someone I'm not because I'm good at being me. Any of you who've been in my world for a while will know that I pretended for decades until I hit burnout. All I can deduce is that I must be pretty resilient to have lasted as long as I did. And yes, I know it's partly to do with my generation and my upbringing. I'm finally good at being me, but because it's taken far too long, part of my mission is to help my fellow introverts get there much faster than I did. There really is no need to hit burnout before we wake up and smell the coffee, and yet often people have to hit rock bottom before they're willing to take action. For most of us, the wake up, the smelling the coffee, invites us to identify and own our strengths, coupled with identifying our purpose in life. And just a reminder for the multi-potentialites listening, this doesn't have to be a single thing, it can be many things. It's fantastic to see the clarity that owning our strengths and knowing our purpose brings when we do this work at the start of the Frustrated to Flourishing program. So where do we go next? Okay, this can be a big oof, and the thing that often ties us to our past. I might not be proud of some of the things I've done in the past, but I'm proud of who I am today. Oh boy, there are certainly things in my past that I'd rather not remember or share, come to that. And that's okay, because we're human. There may be the pious out there who have lived saintly lives from birth. I am not one of them. But it's in those moments and in reflection afterwards that our ethics and moral code gets refined. When we do things and realise it didn't feel good, we change. One of my vast selection of quotes is very apt here. It's by Maya Angelou. And she said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better." The point is, we get to know better so we can do better in the future, and that's how I can be proud of who I am now. I am intentionally doing better because I balled things up in the past. What I'm not saying is there is no point me holding myself up as an authority who can guide people because I made some stupid choices in the past. Nuh-uh. You know what? Being fallible is what gives others hope, and I'm on a path to make hope contagious. So it's quite apt that the penultimate line I found is, I may not be perfect because I don't need to be. None of us need to be perfect, as we're all work in progress. My aim is to have a Kaizen approach to life, that Japanese principle around continuous improvement and making changes for the better. And I'm not looking for big step changes. I'm taking a marginal gain approach and making small adjustments because that's more sustainable for me. I take this same approach when working with clients both one-on-one and in my group programs. Small and steady wins the race, as the saying goes. Now we get to that very last line that created the conundrum in my mind. Take me as I am, or watch me walk away. As long as that doesn't mean WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get, I can live with that last line. You see, the WYSIWYG concept was purloined by those who didn't see a need ever for change, and I've come across quite a few of those in my career. They tend to have a fixed mindset and say things like, I'm too old to change now, or it's too late for me. My friend, it's never too late. But the truth throughout our whole life is we have to want to change for us, not for someone else. Don't develop yourself to please your manager. Do it because you know you have untapped potential. Don't install better boundaries to appease your partner. Do it because you deserve to be treated with respect. Don't build an intentional network because you think you ought to. Do it because you know the benefits of having allies and advocates in your life who reciprocate generously. And yes, if you have those who don't respect you, who overlook your needs, or who gaslight you mercilessly, walk away without a backward glance. They can watch if they want, but you know you'll have made the right decision. So, in what has turned out to be a powerful little series in many ways, remember, it's your life, as I talked about in episode 285. It's important to own your quirkiness, episode 286. And in this episode, it's about knowing that your future is not your past. And in the wonderful Dropping Pebbles in the Pond live show with Professor Heidi Brown, she reminded us that we all get to rewrite how our life script goes from here on in. We can't change the past, of course, but we can stop letting it hold us back in ways that keep us playing small because we felt the guilt or shame. Both of these are useful, but only if we change as a result so we don't repeat the same pattern. So what's it to be, dear listener? More of the same? Or take this as the nudge you've been waiting for to determine what you'll make of your life and how you'll show up going forward? I know which option I'm choosing, and I hope you'll accompany me as we change, because your past does not dictate your future, you do. Your past wrote the prologue, but the pen for the next chapter is in your hand. Gently does it. If you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, then please subscribe, rate us and leave a comment, because we know that that helps other people find the podcast. And if other people find us, other introverts can flourish.
You are listening to an Intentional Media Production podcast.